Business excellence and the importance of team. Hello, I'm Adèle McLay and I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs across the world, guiding them to achieve extraordinary success in business as they define it. And we often talk about this idea of business excellence. What does it mean? What's the model of business excellence? Now, if you've watched any of these videos, you will know that I have put together a video called What is Business Excellence? And I encourage you to watch that video because that will give you the world of business excellence according to me, Adèle McLay. You will also know that the linchpin, the central piece of business excellence is strategy. And if you see the slide that is on the screen now, you can see that strategy sits in the middle of the other areas, the subsets of business excellence, which are branding, finance, marketing, customer, team, and sales. And today we're going to talk about the importance of team in strategy. And what might that mean? Regardless of whether you are a very small business or a mid-sized business or a business that's on a trajectory to be a very large business, in some way you will have a team of people supporting you. They may or may not be employed by you in an official employment contract. They may be contracted to you with a contract for service. They may be outsourced. They may not even be in the country or in the local area to you. They may be in some other part of the world. The key here is that with the digitization of the world we now live in, team and the concept of team takes so many different guises, yet all these people that support us to do what we do for our customers, the why and the how, are part of our team. Even though we might think we're a one-person band, you'll probably have a website designer who's done your website and continues to iteratively update it from time to time. You may have a virtual PA or someone who answers your telephone just to prevent you having to do that all day long if you're a trade, for instance, where they get very distracted by answering phones. You may have a social media team that does all that marketing, social media type work for you. They're all part of your team. They're just not necessarily employed by you or working on your premises. So what does team mean in the context of strategy? Well, as I mentioned, it's all about delivering excellence to your customer. It's your team buying into why you do what you do for your customer, because if they're not with you on that journey, they're not going to do their very best for you and with you to support you to deliver excellence to your customers. So as an owner, you as the leader must engage your team, and we'll talk about that in the video on leadership. So this video is more about the operations of team in relation to achieving business excellence. The first is recruitment. Now, recruitment is a big topic, but just very broadly, if you've never recruited before, get people around you who have. I've recruited thousands and thousands of people for clients and for my own teams, and I know how to do it. I know how great it is when you get the right person who joins your team and really adds tremendous value. I also know how sickening it can be and how hard it is to remove someone when you get it wrong. So don't rush. However your recruitment model works, whether it's recruiting someone into your staff to work with you all the time or outsourced, spend time working out what it is that you want first. Find a range of people whom you can interview. Get help to interview, because if that's not something you've ever done, you won't know what to do. So be strategic, be prepared around it, and take your time and find the right person. What's the right person? Well, that's going to depend on the nature of your business, but it comes back to a heart thing. Do you feel emotionally connected to them? Do you feel like they would fit your company? And for those of you that are perhaps less heart-based and more head-based, we need to rely on our intuition around people a little more. So listen to what your heart is saying around a particular employee you might be taking on. Do they buy into what it is you do and how you do it and why you do it for your customers? The big why question. Do you feel strongly that they will support the values of your business? Have you tested for that? You can. There are lots of assessment tools that can help you to make sure that you're making a good decision. What are their strengths? Is this a role that plays to their strengths? Again, there are plenty of assessments that can help you on that journey to understanding that. Recruitment is absolutely critical to your business, so it needs to be planned for. It needs to be strategically planned, particularly if you're growing. So again, coming back to strategy. The next is engagement. How do you engage your team throughout the year, keeping them motivated, inspired towards the achievement of the business goals that you have throughout the year? Again, the strategy that you want to achieve and the goals within that, and the bigger vision. Really important. There's an element of leadership that occurs in that. Performance. We don't all perform at the top of our game every day, sadly. We're human. But how do you deal with performance? How do you support people to perform their very best when they come to work, so they're fully engaged with you, fully focused, fully present, working for you, with you, whether they be off-site or working with you in your premises? How do you reward performance? How do you support the development of your team to grow them? Because if you can do that, that leads to the next point around retention. There is nothing more unstable and destabilizing than a team that's constantly changing. So my suggestion is that you would be wanting to focus on retention, having team members that stay a decent period of time. I'm not saying lifetimers, that they stay forever, because that's not good for your organization either, but people that are growing with your organization. So they're growing their skills, they're adding more value to your business. And if you can achieve that, where you're growing as a result of the quality of the work they're doing, and they're growing because you're giving them more opportunity, then it's a real win-win, and you're more likely to retain them. And you'll retain people not just because you pay them loads of money. Not always are we able to do that. You'll retain people because they love working for you, with you, supporting you, and that they are growing. They're getting what they need for their career enhancement and their life in working with you. So think very, very carefully about what that means in your business. And again, it's something that should be planned for in your strategic plan, how you can support the growth of your team. Outsourcing is another way in which we can have team, as I have mentioned earlier. Also, outsourcing is a way which we can reduce the cost, the overhead of our business. So when we are looking at how to more effectively operate our business, at times we can take staff out and outsource some work to another organization where that might be their skill. For instance, phone answering services, social media outsourcing. That there are loads of elements of operations, processes and operations in some businesses that can be outsourced. So if you are looking to become a more efficient organization, a more outsourced organization, then this is a real reality. Those people are still your team though, and particularly if they're customer facing, they must buy into what it is you do and how you do it and support you. If they don't, then they potentially destroy really good relationships with your customers, and your business will be challenged. And finally, team can also include partnerships. Who are your partners in business? It might be that you have a load of people who refer business into you. They're part of your extended team. How do you look after and nurture and thank them for the work they're doing for you? All these elements of team are absolutely critical and must be considered in a business that wants to strive for excellence. They're not things that you have to think about every day, but they're things that you strategically think about at the beginning of a period and plan for the year, 6 months, monthly, and there'll be actions at certain times that must be done. There'll be other things that don't need to be done over those time frames. So strategy and planning is where it's at, and once you've done that, you know where you're at, you know what you're doing. And so, for instance, if you are taking a new staff member on and you're putting them on a short-term probation period, then there's a lot of your time that's going to be required in that 3 months to help them get up to speed and be able to perform at their very best to support you so that you can make a decision whether to keep them or not. If you keep them, then there's still a lot more work that needs to go into them to support them. What training do they need? In-house, beyond in-house, so at some other place. Then if they've been there for a year, you've got performance reviews. What's the process you use to do annual performance reviews? You might also have interim performance reviews. So if you've planned for all of this, then you know where it sits in your calendar and you can work towards that. Strategy is the center of business excellence, and team is one of the really key pillars within the strategy. So that's it for my thoughts on the importance of team in relation to business excellence. I hope it has provided some food for thought for you. If it has, and this video has resonated with you and you want to see more of my work, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you subscribe to my channel, and you can do that by clicking the link that's just there. If you would like to be a part of my email community where I share my thoughts and ideas that I don't share on YouTube or Facebook and other social media, then you can click the link that's up there, and that will lead you the way to be a part of my email community. Until I see you next time, thank you so much for watching this video. Be alive, passionate, and extraordinary in business and life as you define it. Bye.